Hi, day 3 of going live this week, just to stay on top of things, get better, work on my my craft, my skill, turn this so that maybe it picks me up just a little bit better. I've seen for a lot of years that 100 hours of studying, 100 hours of work equates to being a professional, a master, mastering a skill. Is that true? That's a lot. And I think there's definitely something to that. But what does mastering a skill look like? How do you know if it's, when you go to college, when you go to school, you have these levels of certifications, of I got to work on my degrees that say you are now certified, you are now a professional, you are XYZ. When you're doing something like this, at what point can you consider yourself a professional, a master of a skill? I don't know. This is definitely live streaming, live broadcasting. There's constant change. That's one thing about any technology, is that there's always something new. There's always a new technique. There's always a new skill. There's new abilities. And I had a great conversation the other day on social media platforms. There are new streaming platforms coming around all the time. And, some of these platforms are working to combine a lot of things, which I think is smart. I think that if you look at everything that we have, someone, some entity, something is going to come and topple the one before it, and it's going to be the next best whatever. How do we decide that? How do we decide what is the next best whatever? I'm not necessarily an early adopter of technology. I don't think I have the energy and the mental bandwidth to be an early adopter. I look at things once they mature a little bit, then I look to see how I can implement it into what I'm doing. With this, building Kickassery, building these things, I am looking at what has matured and how we can use it. Now, the hard part to me, the hard part of working through mature platforms, softwares, whatever, is then, especially on the social media side, is then we're having to navigate the algorithms and play the game and do all those things. So I'm reevaluating that a little bit, and I'm going, okay, so the cool thing about being an early adopter we'll just keep it with social media, the new social media platforms that either will work or don't work. As an early adopter, you are able to take advantage of pre-crazy algorithms. You look at TikTok at the beginning, you put it out there, a whole bunch of people saw it. Now that's not the case. Like my TikTok account, it's not huge. I don't have a crazy amount of followers, but what I find is very interesting is that a couple months ago, I was getting 500-600 views on a post. That's nothing. But for me, okay, the last 20 posts I put up, I'm throttled at like 250. And that's it. That's all that is getting viewed across the board. And I'm like, really? So that means if I want to grow it, I have to do the research to find out what sounds are working, what music's working, what techniques are working to say, hey, algorithm, I'm playing your game. So with new platforms, they're just happy to have you there. And so I'm playing with a couple and trying to see wrapping my head around it, because one thing about it, the platforms that I'm using, I know. And so it's a little lazy. I admit it's a little lazy. But with that is learning new things when I'm already trying to learn a crazy amount already. I don't know if I have it. With that, though, I am trying. And so I'm looking at them and going, okay, is it worth putting what little bandwidth I have left in my brain bucket to put into these, so then that way we can build this beyond where it's at right now. Okay, so I'm trying that out. I'm seeing what we can come up with. Beyond that, what else makes us a master of a skill? What's your inputs? What's your thoughts? If you've made it this far, that's my question to you: is what do you consider mastering a skill? And what skill do you feel that you have mastered? Mine is, I need to continue to master the marketing side of this. I feel like I can speak on camera fairly well. I still have growth in that, and I can become more articulate. I can work on my cadence. The conversation I had yesterday with Chris Spear, which please go check that out. He is an incredibly cool dude. We had a conversation, and I don't know if it was on camera or off camera. I don't remember now. There was a long conversation before, and there was a long conversation after, and then I don't remember. Anyway, is podcast versus video. He's a podcaster. He loves doing it. He's figured out his formula, and he's crushing it. I feel more comfortable on camera, and I'm learning, and I'm hoping to crush it at some time. But that just comes with the grind, with doing it for a long period of time. He's been doing it 4 years, and he said he's over 200 episodes. That's amazing. Is breaking these videos up that I'm doing, throwing them out on the short forms, the TikToks, the Instagram reels, the Facebook, not reel, Facebook. What is Facebook short format? Maybe reels, Facebook reels. See, lots to learn. And getting better at that, and creating a workflow. You know, the thing that I'm working on and I'm looking at is, I have, say I spend an hour on this with a guest. I probably have 5 to 6 hours of work after that to put it into my software for the transcript, to then put it podcast, to then using my the other softwares to work out descriptions, and then go through and cut this up. And I'm not great, but I also need to add into that updating the website and making sure that the website is up to date, which I just realized I haven't done that. I'm 4 guests behind in the website. And in this environment, in this technology, is having a website that important? Because our people, when they're looking at this, right, they're looking at the Joe Rogans, they're looking at the Petersons and the Two Bears and the, whomever. Are they looking at their websites, or are they just looking at whatever platform they're watching them on, and that's their entertainment? I think that's a very valid question, is where am I putting my efforts into? Yeah. So lots to figure out, lots to do. I know that just me as a talking head at the moment isn't that great. And if no one watches this, that's perfectly fine. If you are watching it, great. And I appreciate you so much. I just need to get on here and be consistent and really work on it. I think my biggest, and I've talked about it a couple of times, my biggest piece of investment right now needs to be a green screen background. The microphone works well. The camera works well for the most part. My lighting works okay. It's dark outside, so right now my light is a lot more. We're super cloudy and rainy today, so normally there's a lot more ambient light. But I'm working on that. You know, it's what we're doing. So with that, those are my questions throughout. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to kick off of here. As you can tell, my energy level isn't what it was yesterday. But that's okay. As long as we keep moving forward, as long as we keep pushing and getting stuff done, then we're winning. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to jump off here. I'm going to continue to cut up Teresa and Chris's videos so I can get it out on short form. And I need to go through the transcript of Chris's so that I can get that all fixed and taken care of. And yeah, I'll stop rambling. All right, guys, rock out your day. Keep smiling. Go squish somebody's face.